Did you know that transportation accounts for a quarter of annual global greenhouse gas emissions? Active transportation, which includes walking, cycling, and the use of public transit, uses far fewer resources and is a great way to fight against climate change. But when devising policies to encourage active transportation, it is important to consider the personal characteristics that influence the decision to walk, cycle, take the bus, or drive. Numerous studies have shown that the travel patterns of women are more sustainable than those of men. In countries as diverse as Sweden, India, Israel, and China, women are far more likely than men to travel by foot. And in places with robust cycling infrastructure like the Netherlands, women make up the majority of cycling trips. But research has shown that as people age, active transportation use tends to decline. Since women's active transportation use tends to be higher than men's to begin with, it's useful to look at this drop-off through a gendered lens to see if there is any way to prevent it. Due to the double duties of gainful employment and unpaid domestic work women often perform, women's daily activities are much more complex than men's. Whereas men typically go from home to work to home again, women often make trips outside peak times and to multiple destinations, like schools, work, and grocery stores, at once. Because transit systems tend to be designed to bring employees to and from their workplaces, women either have long commutes or must use cars. Women are also more likely to be employed in jobs with difficult working hours, such as in retail, healthcare, or personal care, that make active transportation unfeasible at all hours of the night. This also raises the question of safety while using active transport. Fears of sexual harassment on public transit, combined with perceived safety issues in allowing their children to take public transit, means women are less likely to think of active transportation as family-friendly. So, what can be done to encourage more women to use active transportation? Well, according to the OECD's International Transport Forum, decision-makers around transport policy are often older men, which is precisely the demographic most likely to travel by car. Including more women in the decision-making process is the first way to begin making progress. Second, parental decisions women make for their children's safe mobility could be mitigated by changes to the built environment, such as wider sidewalks, traffic measures around schools, and bike lanes along school commute routes. Finally, close attention must be paid to designing and redesigning transit networks, operating times, and stations for safety and accessibility to women. This includes measures like night buses, request-to-stop programs, anti-harassment campaigns, and placing bus stops in well-lit and naturally surveyed areas. With concerted effort and the participation of women everywhere, active transportation can be an effective tool in the fight against climate change for people everywhere.